Welcome. If you don't know me, my name's Adele, and my channel, my social media, my pages are all about yoga and specifically helping people with mental health, so anxiety and or depression. This is born of my own personal struggles with anxiety as just somebody with that propensity, or let's call it the characteristics that lend themselves to struggle with worrying about what people think about me. Other people's opinions plays a big part, doesn't it, when we feel anxious? And just having some of those natural threads of perfectionism, wanting to please, people pleasing, it all kind of adds up now that I'm older. But I'm hoping to help people maybe that are younger or maybe the same age as me and older that haven't learned some tools yet. And with yoga, it doesn't have to be performed or done on the mat at all, really. So a lot of my tools are yoga based. Most of them come from the yoga philosophy and practice, the 8 limb practice. But there's other things as well that I've weaved in that really fit in with yoga, but are practical things like, what do you do when you're struggling with all of these pressures in life and deadlines and expectations, and some practical things. So I've built a toolbox that I've actually logged now and really categorized with 50 different tools. Thought it might be nice to share just one tool each week throughout 2026 with my audience, followers, people that are interested, so that you can try these. And if you want more support, I am soon to be launching a membership where all of these tools are going to be explored more, and you'll have support. There's an option to have a lot of support from me. So week 2 in January is all about this skill, which we do in yoga, of watching over yourself. And unless you do a mindfulness practice, a meditation practice, a yoga practice, it's not something you might be familiar with. But it's really important so that you can take a little step back and to have a look, to check in with actually what's going on, and to do that from a kind of a little bit of space, a little bit of separateness between you, the watcher, and what is happening in your body, your breath, and your mind. So, meditation helps with this massively because you practice that skill of just sitting with yourself, observing what's happening, and doing that without judgment, and just being a bit more like, oh, okay, there's a feeling in my chest, there's a sensation in my right shoulder, my tummy feels a bit tight. And I always break this down into kind of 3 areas: body, breath, and mind. So you can simply do this by just having a check in with your body. Now, if you're feeling anxious or you've got depression, there'll be some telltale signs of that that you may or may not be familiar with. And getting to know yourself and your signs and symptoms is a good thing, because then you can start to work on the opposite. You can start to weaken these patterns by doing something different. So you might just start with your body, do a minute or two of checking in with your body. Are your shoulders feeling really tight? Is your chest tight? Is your tummy like turning over? Does it feel like it's, that feeling of kind of a bit sick, or you've got knots in your stomach? Is there tightness around your head? Do your eyes feel tired because maybe you haven't slept very well? Um, or do you feel kind of, how's your energy? Do you feel overstimulated? Oftentimes when we've got anxiety and we've got high functioning anxiety, there's this feeling of kind of like jitteriness, restlessness, really like it's very difficult to just sit still for a few minutes actually, and your body just wants to run, which makes sense. So notice that, and you can go like deeper with this. You can be noticing more subtle sensations of hunger, thirst, warmth, coolness. And I have lots of guided meditations on different ways you can do this, and different sensations that you can notice. Then going a little bit deeper, checking in with breath. So spend a bit of time just observing your breath. So there's lots of breath techniques and they're great, but how are you breathing now? How are you breathing normally? How are you breathing throughout your regular day? And that has an impact. It has an impact on that jitteriness, nervous tension, all of that. So just get to know your breathing patterns. Where are you breathing? Where do you feel the sensation in your body? Is it short? Is it long? Is it fast? Is it slow? And then also you can spend 2-3 minutes in your mind. What is going on in your mind? So are there lots of thoughts? Are they just coming in constantly, jumping around from one to another? Or can you observe even subtler the types of thoughts that you're having? If you can get to know yourself at that level and you can observe the types of thoughts, repetitive patterns that are occurring, now we're getting somewhere, because again, we can start to change those. We can start to intercept. We can start to interrupt those patterns. So, this skill of just every day, 5-10 minutes, whatever you've got, observing how am I doing and remembering to do it. That's the tricky thing. And that's why I'm creating this membership, because I want people to be reminded and every day to go, have you done something to help the situation today? You know, have you listened to a meditation? Have you been for a walk in nature? Have you moved your body? Have you checked in on your breathing? Have you observed these patterns? And it just can be something as simple as 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, but it does need to be consistent. If we want to change these patterns that have built up for years, it's going to take time and it's going to take patience and it's going to take practice. So, week 2 of 2026, skill number 2, watch over yourself. My name's Adele. If you aren't following me already and you're interested in this topic, then please do follow along, because I'm going to be sharing a lot of tools over the year that you might be able to just find something really useful to help that maybe you've not found before. Lovely to hear from you if you want to comment, but please do like, subscribe, follow, all the things. Bye for now.